Welcome back. Currently, we are in an R studio, and here we are going to let you know that how you can perform the pair t-test or the two-sample dependent t-test in R on your data. We have set up a working directory, and in our working directory, we have a one file weight_data.csv. This file have a two columns or the variables. In the two columns, we have a weight of the individuals before the drug treatment and the weight of the individuals after the drug treatment, as we have explained you earlier during the theoretical part of the paired sample t-test. Now let's load this dataset. To load this dataset, we are going to create a new variable named sample_data. After writing the name of the variable, let's give the sign of equality and use the function read.csv to read your file in your working directory. After writing this piece of code, let's hit the run button or press the Ctrl Enter key. And when you will do that, then look at the environment. Our data is successfully loaded. Let's view this data by clicking here on the sample_data name on the environment tab. Once you will do that, then look at the data. In the data, we have the weight before the drug treatment and weight after the drug treatment. And we are expecting a decrease in the weight due to administration of the drug. Okay, let's move back to our code space. After loading the data, let's check the structure of this dataset by using the str function. We hope so that now you guys will be comfortable with this piece of code. Look at the console. In the console, we are going to have an idea about the two variable names and the total number of observations, which are 10 in our case. Now, let's write the piece of the code which will perform the paired sample t-test on our data. To perform the paired t-test, let's first call the BSDA library. To call this library, we will use a library function. We hope so that up till this point, you guys will be pretty comfortable with these codes. Now, after calling the library, let's use the t.test function to perform the pair sample t-test. To use this function, let's first create a new variable named test and then give a sign of equality. After it, let's write down the function t.test. After writing the t.test, let's give the parentheses, and within the parentheses, let's define our variables. Now, as we told you earlier, that in this dataset, we are expecting decrease in the weight. So, which variable will come first? Is it a before variable will come first or the after variable will come first? You are right. The after variable will come first. So, we will define our x with our after treatment variable. So, we write down the x, then we will give a sign of equality. We will specify the column that is holding the data after the treatment. So, we write down the sample underscore data, then we will put the $sign, and then we will select the name of the column that is holding the values after the treatment. After this, we will give a comma, and then we will define the second column. Then to define the second column, we will type y, and then we will give a sign of equality, and after it, we will write down the sample underscore data, and then we will give a $sign, and we will specify the column that will hold the values before the drug treatment. After this, we will give a comma, and after giving a comma, now we have to define the type of the test that we want to perform. We want to perform the one-tailed test or the two-tailed test. Obviously, we will go for the one-tailed, and that is going to be the left-tailed. And in this case, we will type alternative equal to comma inverted comma less. When we are going to define the less, it means that we are going to perform the left tail test. After this, we will give a comma, and now we will define the level of significance by typing conf.level equal to 0.99. After defining the level of significance, we will give a comma, and after giving a comma, we will write down paired is equal to true. After writing this piece of code, let's run it. Look at the console. Did you find any error? No, we haven't found any error. It means that our test has been successfully executed. But let's print out the values. To print out the values, we will type print, and then within the parentheses, we will type the test. After this, we will run this piece of code by hitting the run button or pressing the Control Enter key. And once you will do that, then look at the console. In the console, you are going to have values of your paired sample t-test. Your t-value is -15, the degree of freedom is 9, and the p-value is 5.641 multiplied by 10 raised to power -8. Now please tell us that is this p-value is smaller than your set alpha value or not? Indeed, our p-value is way smaller than our set alpha value. And if it is a way smaller than our alpha value, then what will be the conclusion? The conclusion is that the null hypothesis is rejected. And by the way, what was a null hypothesis? That the drug is not working. The mean difference between the weights before and after is 0. And the alternative hypothesis was that the drug is working. The mean difference is not 0. So our null hypothesis is rejected and alternative hypothesis is accepted. It means that our drug is working. We hope so that up till this point, you guys will be quite confident to perform the pair sample t-test by yourself in an R studio. Please stay with us. In the next video tutorials, we will talk about the type 1 and the type 2 errors. And this will be pretty interesting for you.